and relate to others on a more general scale. And we have to really re-examine how we see things. And going back to this idea of the environment, I think the way that we can work with the environment is by doing the small little things that we can do about it, packaging our garbage in certain ways, and just being aware that every time you have a bite of food, try to think a little bit where it came from. Life is always about a life cycle, in the sense that we have to eat foods to live, but in a way there is something that's dying when it feeds us, but then we have to give back. So this is a basic spiritual concept that I think all the religions talk about, and traditions, and anyone that gives any thought to this kind of stuff.
So generally you think that it will be a time for us all to just be a little more self-aware, and it's a really ripe period of time where the way the planets are arranged, that it'll be very receptive and be more successful than at a different time?
Yes. We're coming into a period with Pluto and Sagittarius and these, all these other planets. This feeling will be, whenever you have a conjunction of 7 planets like that, it will definitely hold its effect for 6 months. And Pluto's going to be in the sign of Sagittarius for the next 10 years at least. And in January, the planet Uranus is moving into its own sign, the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius, Sagittarius, these are both very thinking signs. It's fire. Sagittarius is fire, and Aquarius is air. But it's very much about inspiration, intuition, having to deal with things of a higher consciousness. And I think that more and more people are going to be looking at ways that they can get involved in these sort of things. I wanted to talk a little bit too about, with this Taurus idea, the state of Israel, and this death, murder, assassination that we had recently that was so tragic. And the state of Israel was born under the sign of Taurus. And I think that this assassination that happened under the sign of Scorpio, there is very much of this life, death, life idea, concept. It's very... The death of Rabin, I think, really has taken the state of Israel to a level that is even more insightful. They're having to work even harder at their beliefs. They're having to reevaluate. And I think that this is going to affect all of us. Certainly politicians and the economic thing and so on, the oil in the Gulf and that kind of thing are part of it. But it's more than that, really. It's about re-examining how we feel about things. And Israel, in many ways, is the cradle of Western civilization, in the sense that we think of, the Bible and Christ and all of the things that started in Israel. So we really have a strong attachment, also from an emotional, spiritual point of view, to the state of Israel. And I think that, their struggle and what they're all examining now is something that's very much a part of all of our worries and fears. I don't know if you've listened to the news about the fact that, there's been a strong feeling comparison between his assassination and the assassination of John F. Kennedy. And definitely Kennedy was someone that, affected people on a global level.
And continues to affect. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I think Rabin's death, is again the same kind of thing. And even though I don't like the idea of martyrdom, I think that he was a Pisces. He was born March 1st, 1922, and the sign of Pisces is a little bit about the nature of martyrdom and how one gives one's spirit for the collective and going back into the collective. And I think that he was someone that has really given people that sense of the collective. Many people identified with him. Of course, the sad part is that more have identified with him in his death than in his life. But nevertheless, it's an important point that his death has allowed us to think about with more focus. And in terms of the state of Israel, with it having been born during the sign of Taurus in May of 1948, I think that there will be a rebirth in Israel, probably next spring. There will be new ideas and concepts and so on that will evolve out of this. And I'm quite positive. I believe that there's been a lot of pain, and that now there's going to be some.
I want to ask you that, Mary Michele. It seems like it's been such a tumultuous year between the Oklahoma City bombing and now the assassination of Rabin. It seems like there's been a lot of unrest. For 96, can we see an easing out of this finally?
Well, the nature of these big trends are that there are going to be certain people in certain situations that may not make it to the next rebirth cycle. But, when you think of death, you have to think of death as being something that is going back into a greater whole. No matter how it is that you see death is something that is not, it's not finite. I mean, it's finite in the sense that, you won't be able to come back and so on. But in terms of the earth and the cycles of the earth, there's always a change. Every day brings a change. When you go to sleep at night, it's kind of like a little death, and you wake up and there's new beginnings. And I think these things that have happened in the past year, whether it was in Japan with the Buddhist priest who caused these horrific things on the subways, the problems that have happened in this country, in Oklahoma, the earthquakes, all of these things are kind of literally shaking us up. And I think that these 7 planets in Sagittarius, this is what we're going to want to do. We're going to want to reflect on these tragedies and see them as ways to regroup and reorganize and restructure. But there is probably going to be a bit more of this tumultuousness, because I think that man doesn't learn easily. It's, we have to repeat our mistakes many times before we finally get it. It doesn't mean that we won't. I mean, I definitely feel we will. It takes time. And I think as long as we can keep that in mind, and when things go a little wrong, just in your daily routines and so on, allow yourself to get angry, allow yourself to feel all of those different things that you feel, but then recognize that too will change. Your mood will change. You will feel better. Things will, have a different light put on them, even within the space of an hour.
Okay, that sounds great, and I'm hoping that hard lessons will be taught and learned very deeply for 96. We're here at WVIP taking your calls. Mary Michele's in the studio. We're going to take another quick break, but stay where you are and get on that phone, 241-1310. We're taking your calls today, and we'll be right back with you after these quick messages.
Hey, your car's awfully dirty. Why don't you take it in for a wash?
Well, there's no decent place around.
Haven't you heard about the change? Everybody's talking about Splash, the hand wash of Bedford Hills.
Oh, I used to go to this place in Bedford Hills, but it was...
No, they've completely redone the place. They vacuum your car, they hand detail the wheels. These guys massage your car with lamb's wool mitts, thick foaming soaps, while you watch from their new gallery and store. Your car goes through this great touchless dryer, and then they towel dry it. They do the windows, they dust the dash. They even wipe off your door jambs.
They really do all that? Do you need an appointment?
No, it's while you wait, because it's on conveyor. It takes only 10 minutes, and all for just $12.75.
I've got to see this.
Yeah, go get splashed. It's unlike anything you've ever seen.
Splash, the hand wash of Bedford Hills, is located at 527 North Bedford Road. That's Route 117, across from the Bedford Barn. Phone number 241-2266. Mention this ad before November 15th and get $2 off.
WVIP. Toyota North in Mount Kisco is a great place to rent a new Toyota.
No, Toyota North in Mount Kisco is a great place to buy or lease a new Toyota.
Right. Toyota North is also a great place to rent a new Toyota.
Buy or lease.
That's correct, but now you can rent a Toyota from Toyota North for a day, a week, a month, or even a half day. Also special low weekend rates.
Look, Toyota North in Mount Kisco has had a reputation for fair and honest pricing and extraordinary customer service for over 25 years. It's a great place to buy or lease a Toyota. Just ask a Toyota North customer.
I know, and isn't it great that now you can rent a Toyota, even Camry wagons from Toyota North, and still get that famous friendly service and more than competitive rental rates, even insurance replacement rates when your car's out of commission.
You mean you can rent a Toyota at Toyota North?
Right.
Competitive rate, daily, weekly, monthly, even half-day and low weekend rates? And that super nice Toyota North service, too?
Absolutely.
It's like I've been trying to tell you. Toyota North in Mount Kisco is a great place to rent a Toyota.
Toyota North, Sawmill Parkway, Kisco Avenue, exit Mount Kisco, New York.
WVIP 1310 AM and Cable Channel 12. We're here with Mary Michele. We have her live and alive in our studios. We're taking your calls today, 241-1310, for your astrological predictions. And we have someone on the line, Rosalie. Her birthday's 1931, October 21st. Hello, Rosalie. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Hi, Rosalie.
Hello.
You have a question for Mary Michele today?
Yes, I'm in a little financial bind, and we put up our house for sale, and if we're going to sell.
You want to know if the house is going to sell?
Right.
October 21, 1931. Okay. You have the sun in Libra, as you know, and the moon in Pisces. Mercury in Libra, Venus in Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio. Has the house been on the market for some time?
A few weeks.
A few weeks. I think there will be activity, towards the end of the month, the end of November, around the house. How badly do you need to sell it? Do you need to sell it before the first of the year?
Well, yes, it makes it easier for us. The more we stay, the more we're in debt.
Well, I think if you want to negotiate a deal, if something comes up towards the end of November, the end of November through around the 15th of December is a good time to, if you need to lower the price a little bit to get what you need. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I think any kind of negotiation, it's a good time to do that. And usually I know when you set a price, you have to come down a little bit, right? So I think that will be a good time to do it. Where are you going to move to? Hello? Are you there?
I'm sorry, Rosalie is off the line. I'm hoping that she's going to call back momentarily. Rosalie, if you're out there, give us a call back. Oh, I think she's back on the line. Just hold 1 second, Mary Michele. Is that Rosalie? Hold on 1 second. Here we have her. Sorry about that. I'm waiting on Tina here. Tina, is that Rosalie on the line? Oh, we'll take Martha on too then. Sorry about that, Rosalie. Don't mean to disappoint you. If you can, please call us back. Martha, are you there? Martha? Martha?
Yes?
Hi, how are you today? Sorry about that. Martha's birthday, 1947, October 23rd. How are you, Martha? What's your question for Mary Michele today?
Well, I'm facing a lot of change in my life, in my work life, and in my personal life, and I'm wondering how I'm going to absorb the changes, if I'm going to be able to get through them.
October 23rd, 1947. Okay, you have the moon in Aquarius, so there is a harmonious angle between the sun and the moon. The moon in Aquarius is about the way that you deal with daily routines is you like new, unusual daily routines. You always are a little thinking ahead in the way that you manifest. It also means that the nature of mothering, the way that you were mothered, was perhaps a little abrupt, but at the same time interesting. It was always interesting. There was lots of stimulation, mental stimulation. But the areas of security, the way we normally think of mothering, it wasn't exactly like that. But the Sun in Libra goes well with it, so it's a good combination. This air, it's a trine. You have Mercury in Scorpio and Venus in Scorpio. So this is this, intensity of trying to understand things. Mercury, particularly the mind, it makes you the great detective, kind of like my Sherlock Holmes hat today. And I think that you're very good at ferreting out and finding what is at the bottom of things. Venus in Scorpio, this, makes for quite a bit of passion. It's squaring Mars, so it makes relationship issues difficult. There's a push-pull always between the feminine and the, well, it's not a push-pull, that's an opposition. This is a square. It's really like boxing between the male side of yourself and the female side of yourself. Jupiter in Scorpio helps you with these things. I think, all these planets in Scorpio, as I said earlier, I've said a lot today, Pluto is moving on into the sign of Sagittarius. So a lot of these struggles that you've had that have really been going on for the last 10 years, having to do with your emotional life, your mental life, and the way in which you expand, it's going to change. It's going to change today. There's going to be a whole new way of looking at things, and you're going to be very much in keeping with the new ideas and new concepts that come about in January when the planet Uranus goes into the sign of Aquarius, because that will be your moon. It'll be on top of your moon. So you're going to have lots of new ideas and new concepts. And I think that you have to do what you love. You have to get closer and closer to what it is that you love, because life is short, and we need to do what we care about. So my hope for you would be that you would get closer to what it is that you love to do and to go do that.
Thank you for calling, Martha. We have Rosalie back. Martha, thank you so much for being with us today. Let me get Rosalie here. Rosalie, hi.
Hi.
Sorry I cut you off there. I think it was me. Sorry about that. I'll give you her birth date again, Mary Michele. Okay. 1931, October 21st.
Okay. October 31. Sorry.
And Rosalie was calling about the sale of her house.
Right, exactly. I remember. Okay, October 21. Right. I think that you need to do something about this in the end of November, the beginning of December, but I don't think that you're going to feel happy about your financial situation until April of next year. It doesn't mean that things won't get better. I think you probably will sell the house and things will go the way that you need for them to go. But you're going to need to take the time through until April of reevaluating values, and value is synonymous with money. What we value is money. So even though the sale of the house will probably go through, I think there's going to be some issues that you have to think about with this. Is that helpful?
Rosalie?
Yes, it is. It is. And what you spoke to the lady before, I'm kind of in that same sign, I think. Am I right? She was October 2.
Yes.
So I think that, what you told her, too, will help me, too.
Oh, good. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you for calling, Rosalie. And we have one more caller on the line. Busy today. This is Barbara. Barbara is from Somers. Hi, Barbara. How are you?
Hey, good.
How you feeling today?
Good.
You have a question for Mary Michele?
Wait,
her birthday, 1952, July 31st. That's a great day. I don't know why. I always like July 31st.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know why. Maybe because it's the height of summer, and I know I still have a month left to enjoy the weather. I don't know.
I like it.
Congratulations on being born on a great day.
Okay, so you were born with the sun in the sign of Leo and the moon in Scorpio. Lori's a Leo, so she's...
Oh.
I'm flexing my muscles over here.
So there's a hard angle here between the sun and the moon. So there might be difficulties. You might have times that it's a little more difficult for you to trust your instincts. So it's something that you're going to have to consistently work on. You have Mercury in Leo, Venus in Leo. Oh my. Mars in how do you get? Do you have issues with females in your life? Do you have trouble with, mothers or sisters or friends?
Silly, a little mother stuff.
Well, I think that probably has been going on for a while, and I think it's going to change now. You're probably having a little more insight about your mother. Do you think that's true?
Oh, I'm sure it's really true. I definitely do.
Yeah. Well, you're getting better at it all the time, and this in turn will help the way. Do you have children?
No, I don't.
Would you like to?
I would have loved to, but I don't think I will.
Yeah. Well, do you work with children? Could you spend time with them?
I'm sorry?
Could you work with children? Could you spend time with them?
I could, yeah.
Because the sign of Leo is the child, it represents the child. So it's always important for Leos to at some point or another, and you have, several planets in Leo, to spend time with children, because it reinstates your own child capabilities. Your own child instincts, and they're very positive. I think it's very, very difficult today with a lot of the different kinds of spiritualities that are not satisfying to people, and the nature of religion is that we need to play more. And Leo is something that can definitely help us do that. And I think you'll get the energy and the impetus to be able to do that by spending time with children. What kind of work do you do?
Registered nurse.
Oh, okay.
I deal with adults. I've wanted to do what you're talking about on a voluntary basis, though, not to get paid.
Right, but I think it would help. It would revitalize you.
Yeah, fill that void.
Yes, exactly. I was reading an article the other day about how there are more and more people that are spending time, single parents that are choosing single people or people that don't have children to help them in the raising of their children. I have to go now. Thanks so much for calling.
Thank you for calling. I'm sorry, we're almost out of time. And that was Barbara. Barbara, take care and good luck to you. You're watching WVIP 1310 AM and Cable Channel 12. We've just spent the last hour in the good graces of Mary Michele. Hello and welcome. I'm Lori Blanchard for WVIP, and you're here with us today for Live in Style with our host, Ann Klima. Ann is a member of IIDA and ASID. She is an interior designer.
Highs for the day ranging to about 30. For tonight, mixed sleet and snow will be ending. Overnight lows ranging back into the teens. Saturday's weather partly sunny. Highs will range into the upper 30s. Our Saturday night weather fair and cold in the teens. Sunday variably cloudy. Afternoon, so showers, 30 to 35. Monday, it looks like our weather will be partly sunny. Also variably cloudy on Tuesday. Both days highs in the 30s. For VIP, I'm Eddie Rogers, Steve Pelletier.
21 degrees outside. Good morning, everyone. 6 minutes past 9 o'clock. And welcome to a Friday with Mary Michele. Also school superintendents, also some delayed openings. Metro North, by the way, now on a Sunday schedule. Trains leaving Brewster North basically at the top of the hour. We'll keep you up to date on everything. As soon as we have the preliminary list of Operation Snowbird, we'll get those to you. Right now, we want to say good morning to Mary Michele. Good morning. You made it here.
Good morning, Mike. I want to say what a wonderful job you've done all week. And I know it's been hectic. There was planetary activity that was, sort of indicative of this. It was.
Oh, there was? You could have predicted it. And you didn't tell us. Goodbye, Mary Michele. I'm not talking to you. We've got some callers already. Diane is on the line from Yorktown Heights, watching on Cable Channel 12. Her date of birth, September 24th, 1946. Good morning, Diana. You're on with Mary Michele.
Hi.
Hi, Diana. Did you have a particular question?
Well, I wanted to know if this would be the year that my sons would get engaged.
Both of them or just one?
I'd like both.
Have you heard those Bill Cosby tapes about trying to get the children out of the house?
No, I haven't.
Oh, they're very funny. Okay, 10/23/46. You were born with the sun, the first day of Libra, the moon in Virgo, Mercury in Libra, Venus in Scorpio. You have a lot of Libra planets here, but that moon in Virgo is the indication that your ability to mother and also the way you perceive your own mother is going to have a lot of help this year. So I would imagine Jupiter, the planet of good luck, is trining your sun. That's a good angle. It means that your ability to influence them and to sort of perhaps express yourself to them is going to be, you're going to be able to do it in ways that you may not always be conscious of, but is nevertheless extremely useful to you, advantageous to you. But, conversely, I think that you'll also be doing it for them. It's not just about, what's good for you. I think you'll be able to see what is best for them and help that happen.
Great.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for calling. Next caller is Mary. She is watching in Lincolndale on cable channel 12. Date of birth, October 23rd, 32. Good morning. You're on with Mary Michele.
Good morning. Did you have a particular question?
No, just a general.
Okay, a general thing. October 23rd. You were born the last day of Libra, and you were born with the moon in Scorpio. This is the moon in Leo. This is a harmonious angle. It means that your conscious and your unconscious works well together. Mercury in Scorpio, Venus in Virgo. Are there relationship issues that you have been concerned about in the last few years?
Yes.
There's a lot of help coming this year. Venus in Virgo, and Jupiter in Virgo. This is all Neptune in Virgo. You've got a lot of planets that are being trined by the planet Jupiter. And this means that in terms, particularly where Venus is concerned, it means that your ability to give and receive love is going to be easy. It'll be an easier give and take. With Jupiter in Virgo, it means that you're going to be, money might come your way. Now, it might not actually be cash flow. It might be, other kinds of money. But, you'll feel more lighthearted about money.
Oh, well, that sounds good.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for calling. Mary, you had mentioned you could have predicted the snowstorm?
Well, the planet Uranus, which is the planet that I really want to talk about today because it went into its own sign, into the sign of Aquarius, the first time in 84 years. And I think it's really important, particularly for those of us in the communication field, because it's about the glyph for the sign of Aquarius are two little lines, one under the other, which looks like the way you would imagine radio waves. So it's very much about communication. It's also the planet of sudden upsets, and when it was conjunct with Mars on Monday, it was, drastic conditions, it could have manifested itself in other ways. It could have manifested itself in an earthquake or, other kinds of things. So in a way, we were quite lucky that it was something that will go away with some.
By the way, there are people who are saying that January 23rd of this year is going to be a bad day out in California.
From now until the end of January, there are going to be a lot of upsets. So the best thing that I can suggest is that everybody tries to go with the flow. Don't make plans that are so set in stone that you're going to feel...
Does that mean that Green Bay is going to beat Dallas on Sunday? I don't know.
Could be.
Okay, we're going to be back with Mary Michele taking your calls. We have a number of callers already on the lines. Please bear with us. We will get to you, and we'll be back in 1 minute.
Your most important investment in a lifetime, without any question, is your home. Not only its dollar value, but the dividends it pays for your way of life. Only one real estate agency in northern Westchester has maintained a standard of service to homeowners for over 100 years. For over 100 years as your neighbor and trusted advisor, the name is Renwick. Renwick of Renwick and Winterling. The name Renwick has been a tradition at the Village Green in Bedford for over 100 years. The name Renwick provides a rare understanding of the true value of your home. The name Renwick guarantees dedication to your interests. A price for your home with an honest appraisal of what you can expect realistically. The name you can trust is Renwick, and the telephone number is 234-9261. The location, for over 100 years, is Bedford Village. Again, for Renwick and Winterling, a tradition in real estate, call 234-9261. That's 234-9261 for Renwick.
And welcome.